So this file here is the top view cut practice file. I downloaded it from Schoology there, and we want to do a top view cut practice on this one rather than on our main one, just because top view cuts are a little bit more difficult than what we've been doing so far. So we still have all the same stuff on the top here. Half car for modeling is the main one that we want to look at. And I'm looking at the bottom of my car here. So again, on top view, you can't touch the cartridge hole, you can't touch the axle holes on the outside of the car. You can, however, though, cut on the inside. So if this is how you'd make a forked car, this is how you're going to cut the side of the car in, this is how you're going to round the front of the car off. So I'll kind of do a little bit of each of that to show you and explain to you what's going on there. So the first thing we have to do is edit this component. So we're going to right click and go edit component. And we got the gray box, so we're working with the component. Now when I'm working on the bottom of a car, I need it to be flat. So to get it back to flat, we have to create a surface here. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to go across this bottom surface. So I can go right over this gap, or I could do the whole surface. Either way works. But now I have that flat. I'm going to change that to view and face style and uncheck X-ray. So you can kind of see that filled in there. This front one here is a little bit different because we don't have a surface to go off of here. So what I'm going to do is do my rectangle going across here. And then I'm going to push pull this surface back on. So now I have that flat on the front as well. So now we've got the whole bottom flat. We'll work on cutting that back out in a minute. Let's say I want to do an arc here on the bottom. Here, here, here. And if we remember aerodynamics, we want to round these corners off a little bit. I'm going to start my arc coming back. So that kind of smooths that out. I always like to come back to about here. You can kind of see these groupings. This one's kind of hard to see because it's blue on blue. Clear that out. Clear that out. Ooh, too much. Undo it with a Control Z and clear that out. So now I have that cut made. My next cut I'm going to do is I'm going to make a area in the front here. Thin that out. And I'm going to start about here. That thickens that up. So that's going to be, if I think about that, if I go to full car, and I look back at the bottom, I've now thinned it out on one side. I didn't have to do anything on the inside to thin it out on the side here. That automatically thinned it on the other side, and now I'm cutting a groove in there. Sometimes it's helpful to go back to full car at that point. And then on the front here, I'm just going to add a little arc to it. So you can be creative with this. Take out what you need, what you don't need, all that stuff. And be there. Alright, now comes to the actual time of cutting. So I'm going to use the select tool, the push-pull tool. And I'm going to push-pull this up. So I'm going to push-pull this surface up. And it's going to start doing what I want it to do. And it's looking nice, but then it hits this little spot here and it says, I don't know what you want me to do. So this is where we have to tap the Control key or Option key if you're on a Mac and push-pull that all the way up. So I have to be up and above. And it's not looking quite right yet, but basically what we're doing is we're making a big chunk of material there that we're going to use to cut. Tap the Control key again so I can get this to come up, and I just want to be up above here. So now I have this selected. you'll notice there's no line right here at this point. That's because this surface and this surface are just running into each other. They're not actually cutting each other. So what we have to do is make them cut. And I'm going to right click on it and go select all on same layer. So it selects everything here. So that was a right click, select all on same layer. And if I'm looking here, now I have them both selected. Now I'm going to go to Edit, Intersect Faces with Model. And you'll see it made this line here. So it made those two surfaces cut each other. So now I'm going to go to Front View. Using a window, so if I drag a window this way, you'll see it's solid. If I drag a window to the left, it's dotted. Dotted means anything it touches. Solid means anything that's completely inside the window. So right now, if I go solid window over here, I don't have any lines completely inside the window, so nothing gets selected. If I go a little bit further, this line right here will be fully inside the window, so that'll be selected. If I come back this way, anything that this window touches, so including these vertical lines, will get selected. So I'm going to select back that way. Right click and erase. Or you can hit the delete button. Again, going from right to left. I don't want to touch anything up here because everything gets selected then. I just want to touch what's below that line. Erase. And then I'm going to go to Top View. And then this line is the line I want to keep, this curvy line. Right click, erase. And now I have the shape that I'm starting to go for. I like what it's turning out to be. I'll do the same thing over here. Push-pull, if you remember, tap the Option key or the Control key on Windows. Pull that one up. Pull that one up. Now they're not cutting, so we need to use the Select tool. Right-click, select, all on same layer. Edit, Intersect Faces with Model. You can also do a right-click, Intersect Faces with Model. So I made them cut. Back to erasing. So Front View, window from right to left. Delete what I don't need there. Window from right to left over here. Delete. So now I got back to my original shape. Then we go to Top View. I know this is the shape I want. Delete. And delete. So now I have a nice looking car. To upload this, you're going to go to Full Car. You're going to click out of it, save it, and then take a snapshot of it and send it to me, or send it to your teacher, which I take it through Schoology. Good luck!